Time's up.
Hi again. Hi, teacher.
Hi, he's gonna be back.
Okay, yes, we had to connect again.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't check the time.
Yeah, but it was very interesting, and I realized right now that I need to listen native speakers on interviews on YouTube. I need to improve that listening
That's
skill.
good. Yes, that's great.
Yeah.
Let's see if he is gonna be back. Oh, I think he's gonna join.
Hello, teacher.
Hi, Heriberto. He says time was, he didn't realize it was going to nap so quick. Oops. Okay, let's see if we can have him 10 minutes more, but now he's gonna ask you a question. Let's see.
Teacher, but there are some words that was difficult to understand. For
Of
example,
course.
when he said about lecture, I didn't understand. Is he a teacher that give a lecture, como una cátedra, or it his or he received that lecture?
He did, because he was telling you that he was taking Spanish classes, right? And I'm sorry, guys, because my internet is so bad. Sometimes I don't listen to you. It's like my screen is frozen, okay? Oh, he's back. Hi, Kenneth. Sorry, we didn't check the time, and every time we have to finish the first part and then we join with the same link. So now we're gonna take just 10 minutes. Could you please, Kenneth, ask them, okay, you will ask every student one question that can be something about their personal information or something basic, okay? So we're gonna start with Nelson. Now you are going to ask them. And I don't know, guys, if you want, if you have a mistake, maybe they can help us, okay? Maybe when you give your speech, then you can give a short, like, what do we say?
Issue a correction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a feedback quickly, right?
Yeah, a little bit of feedback on the grammar and what they said. Okay,
maybe you can have, I mean, maybe you can give us the feedback at the end, okay? When everybody has participated. All right, go ahead.
I think I just thought of a good one. I think I guess I'll just ask everybody about their favorite hobby and just tell me.
Sure. That's great. I like it.
You said you wanted to start with Nelson?
Yes, Nelson, please.
Okay, sounds good. So Nelson, just tell us a little bit about your favorite hobby.
Okay, Kenneth. My favorite hobby. My favorite hobby was play soccer because in 10 years ago, I like to practice soccer with my friends and my coworkers. But right now, my favorite hobby is watching Netflix or a lot of movies with my wife.
All right.
Nice. I like so in the second part of your sentence there, you said like you kind of you made a little bit of humor. You're like, well, in the past, and laughed a little bit. That was actually very colloquial. It sounds like exactly how I would speak. I'd be like, well, about 10 years ago or in the
Yes.
past. Yeah, yep. No, I would that's exactly what I would do. So that was good. I like that a lot. Yeah, I guess filler words are they are difficult. So like a little bit like like I guess when you're shifting to the second half of the sentence, you could say like, that was my hobby in the past. However, is kind of a good way to transfer over. That's, an example you could use. Yeah, you didn't say anything wrong. However, it's nice to have a connector word there. rather than just jumping straight into like, this is now, this is the past. I would say like, I really loved playing soccer. That was my thing I used to do with my friends and my coworkers. However, now I don't do that as much, and now I actually enjoy more, watching Netflix with my wife, my significant other, having kind of a filler or like a transition. I'm sure you know what that looks like in Spanish plenty, but just having something in the middle there does tend to help. That's kind of opposite of what we usually do. Usually we cut things out and like, shorten things up, but compared to Spanish, we actually put a lot of filler when we're talking about like from the past. But nowadays, however, I do this instead, a lot of weird little words in there, but however is a very common one, which
Okay.
just means like that's the past. However, now yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Excellent.
Okay, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right, let's
Mm-hmm.
go with Leilani. You are shy today, Leilani. Okay, go ahead.
That's how I am in class too.
Same question, Leilani, for you.
What's my hobby, right? What is my hobby?
Yeah. What are some hobbies of yours? Just explain a little bit about them.
Well, I think my favorite hobby was when I was practicing karate. I practiced 2 years. But this year I not practice more because of my school. I have a lot of homework. I'm stressed. Actually, I start in January, and it's like 3 weeks, I think, and I'm stressed. Then I think read books in quarantine. I read a lot of books. Then I think I love draw, but I know have more like I love draw, but I don't have inspiration. Like I have to see and draw. I just copy that what I'm seeing. And I think that's all.
Nice. So actually interesting. I kind of did the same thing as a kid. I needed to see something to draw it. I I couldn't pull something out of my memory, but yeah, I would say exactly how I would say that in English would be like um I need to visually see it, or I am a visual learner is like that's a good lesson, good thing to learn. But like how would I put it? Like I think very visually would be a good way of putting that. That's another like colloquialism we use in English that everybody understands is like I'm a visual learner, or if I need to see something to, to draw it, we would say like I'm a visual learner, I need to see it. So that's one thing. You a couple times in there you did use like good transition words, but it's just figuring out exactly where to put it's difficult. I didn't really see them misplaced, but some of the times, like, because in Spanish it's very blocky. Like you'll use like three words and it will have more meaning than the words are worth. However, in English you'll use three words and you'll be implying a lot more. So filler words help a lot. I don't know. I didn't really see too much wrong in there. Everything you said made complete sense. Actually, funny enough, I actually did do karate as a as Katya remembers, but yeah.
Yes.
But I did that from a very young age until like the end of high school. So for
I
a
used
while
to
there.
go to his classes.
Yeah. Yep. She used to go to them.
Yes, that was
Yeah.
nice.
Thank you. And if I can ask, what grade do you have? Oh well, I don't know how to say. What grade do you have when you practice karate?
Oh, what belt am I?
Yes.
Yeah, yep, yeah. Que cinturón soy. So I would so if I was trying to say that, actually I can correct that right there too. I would say so what belt did you get to in karate is how I would say that in
And the
Spanish,
word
because
karate.
actually I think it's right here. Sorry, my room is a little bit messy. Okay.
Is that your room now?
Yeah, it is. The
Oh, really?
AC, yeah, the air conditioning doesn't like reaching my room upstairs, so it's just stuffy. So I
Oh,
just live
okay.
down here now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I actually have a third degree black belt. So
That's amazing.
Very cool. Yeah,
And
it's a
your
little bit.
sister too, right?
Yeah, she actually has 4.
Oh,
So
okay.
4th, which is crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't even make it that far. Yeah, it's so fraying on the edge. It's like beginning to fall apart. So sorry, I don't want the meeting to time out on us again. Sorry. Next example, I guess.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Now let's go with Heriberto.
Yeah. My favorite hobby is playing chess. I learned how to play the game with help of my sister and my cousin. And then I participate in a tournament in the university, and we won the second place in the level of the universities. But also, I like listening to music and writing history. But that hobby of writing histories, I get it based in some idea of the movies, or also in my own inspiration. I like to writing histories and also watching movies. So this is part of my hobbies.
Nice. I did notice one thing a little bit early on. So, I believe you said like received help from sister and was it your sister and a friend, was
Oh
it?
yes,
Cousin.
Mhm.
my cousin.
So usually what you would say is like my sister and my cousin helped me. Usually help would go on the other side of that. And it makes sense the way you said it. It makes sense. It's just to refine the grammar a little bit. Usually you would put that on the end. You would say like um in very small amount of scenarios you could say like I got help from blank and blank, but most of the time you're going to say like my sister and my cousin, they helped me with, and then you'll move on to the actual subject of the sentence, like the important part, what they helped you with. So usually help goes after who helped you. That's another example in English is a lot of people will say me, my friend Joe, my friend Josh, you can say that. That's actually not right. You say my friend Josh, my friend Joe, and I, like as in I, literally the letter. Because I did this, I did that. Technically, grammar dictates that that's correct. Is
Yeah.
that you can say it either way, but people will scold you for writing it as like putting yourself first. No, you're supposed to put the other people and then you say and I to include yourself in the group. So another little grammatical lesson.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also maybe he was saying history. That you like to write history, right? That's what you said?
Yeah. Did you mean like stories
Yeah,
or
and that's another
history?
mistake that we make, Kenneth.
That
Story
makes a lot
and
of sense
history, yes.
because historia and history sound the same.
It's
Yeah.
same,
So
yes,
even though they're
yes.
not,
But
yeah.
in
Yeah.
English, it's different. We have
Yep.
history and story. Maybe you can explain to him.
Mhm. So history would be like things that happened in the past. So you would say like el pasado, or like the Civil War or the founding of the country. Those would be considered history. However, a story that's usually fictional or like a fancy way of telling something, a movie, a book, something that's not real. That's a story. If you're writing fantasy, is what we like to call it, that would be a story. History is something that actually happened and is written in your history books. You learn about it in school, an event. Yeah.
Hi,
Mhm.
Bobby.
Hi, hang on. How are
This is
you?
Kenneth. I'm
Good to
fine.
see
We are
you.
having an activity today.
That's awesome. Excellent. You have a guest speaker.
Yes, we
Yes.
do.
All right. Thank you, Kenneth, for joining us and
No
helping
problem.
these guys out. All right. Go ahead, teacher. Go ahead.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, now let's go with Elsie.
The same question, teacher.
Yes, same.
Okay, I don't have a lot of hobbies, but in my free time, I love spending time with my family, taking care of my baby, and playing with her. I love when she say, "Parque, mommy, park, mommy, parque." So I like that expression, and I love doing that. The other, another hobby that I have could be when I surf in the shore. I don't know okay the pronunciation, but I like that. I like to do that because I can share my knowledge. I can share some of my skills with others, with children. I serve on Saturday in the afternoon with children. I teach them English as free,
Hmm.
and that is I invest my time in that in that part. And what I love and I like to do.
So the second hobby is like you volunteer is what we would usually call that. So you go and you do it for free. The word we would
Yeah.
use in English would be to volunteer. So in the United States we call that day school. That happens on like Saturday or Sunday, and they'll have like usually it was a church associated thing in the past here, but you would go, you'd volunteer your time, and you would teach kids about a subject on the weekend, usually something they didn't do at school. So like perfect example what you did in English. So um,
Yeah.
we could call that day school or volunteer teaching would be good terms for that.
Okay, thanks. And
Mhm.
volunteer service could be.
Yeah, you could. I service. Service is kind of a funny word in English. In the United States, at least, and in the Midwest where I live, service kind of has two major connotations. It's either you're in the military or like law enforcement, you're serving like your country, or service could mean like a job where you offer somebody an act, like you give them their food or you clean their house. That's a service. Um,
Um,
Teaching is like a job, it's voluntary. So that's where the word volunteering comes in, because you're giving them a service for free. That's your volunteering. That's
okay,
the action.
thanks.
Yes.
Thank you, Elsie. Okay, and let's finish with Jonathan.
Okay. I have a lot of hobbies, but the first is I love spend time with my family and with my wife and my daughter. Another hobby is I play soccer uh, every Sunday in the afternoon. And another hobby is I listen to music every morning, and also I go to the church every every Sunday in the morning too. But this is are my these are my hobbies.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you,
There's
Jonathan.
some good ones. Actually, pretty similar to most of the ones we have here in the United States, actually. But I did notice that when you were saying, you would say like Monday in the morning. Usually we would just say Monday morning or Sunday afternoon. We just shorten it up to two words, like on Sunday afternoon, I eat lunch, or on Sunday morning, I go to church. Usually just on the day and then the time of day. It's just those three together is how you would just start the sentence and just say, this is the day, this is when, and this is what I do. Usually it's pretty direct. We don't usually find ourselves trying to add more words or say it, vice versa, just on Monday morning, on Friday night, on Saturday afternoon. That's just how we say it. Really simple three words. And that's like everywhere I've heard English spoken, that's how we all say it.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Well, so we're going to stop here with Kenneth today. So I don't know if you want to say something for finishing, Kenneth, or maybe you, Boris, do you have some words? No? Your microphone is off.
No, I'm sorry. Sorry, my microphone was on. I was talking to another student. Thank you, Kenneth, for your time and sharing. Guys, were you able to understand Kenneth? Did you understand Kenneth? If you
Yes.
did,
Yeah.
yeah, if you did, don't take this the wrong way, teacher. I'm a teacher too, but if you understood Kenneth, you understood the real thing. Right,
Yeah.
Kenneth?
Yes, yeah. This is
Sure.
pretty much how I speak every day. Yep.
Yes.
Yep, of
And that
course.
was the
Thank you.
purpose.
Right. Great. Remember, guys, just keep practicing, keep using, remember the corrections. If you have questions, ask the teacher again and again until you get it right. Thank you again, guys. Have a good night.
All right.
Bye,
Thank you,
Kenneth.
Bobby.
Bye,
Bye,
teacher.
Kenneth. Thank you so
Thank you
much
for
for
inviting me. Yep.
everything, for helping us. We are so happy to have you in the class. And I know that you guys, you enjoyed this, right? And well, you were a little bit nervous at the beginning, but then you did it very good. So thank you so much, Kenneth, for being in the class. And it was great to see you again. And say hi to the family, okay? Bye-bye. Good night, Kenneth.
Oh yeah, Annika just left right before I got on, so she wanted to say hi to you. So,
Oh, sure. Maybe,
yep.
well, I'm going to invite Annika for next class. I will talk with her, okay?
Oh yeah, she could do that too. Yeah.
I know she will love it. Yes. Thank you, Kenneth. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Tell me, how do you feel?
Teacher, I feel nervous,
That's
but it's my first time and I speak with the American for me teacher.
okay.
But his language is better technically,
Yes,
but I understand uh, a little the thing says
but
us.
you get the message, right? Maybe you
Yes,
did
teacher,
not
I understand the
all
message.
words, but you got the message, right? And this is a process. I'm gonna make the groups right now quickly, and I want you to discuss with your class. How do you feel with this activity? How do you feel? Okay, quickly, 3 minutes. Discuss with your partner. How do you feel about this? Okay.
Okay, teacher.
Well,
How do you feel,
just
Heriberto?
how you feel?
Well, in my case, I feel exciting because we were doing this activity, and also a little nervous because when I was talking with him, I felt like I will say the wrong words, the wrong message, but at the end, I try to be more comprehensive and to express the message of a better way. And that's the way that I asked him, and he provided the answer. So what do you feel? What do you feel, Leilani?
Well, I feel nervous, but it was not my first time to talk with American. I have a
Didn't understand it because the in the person is very difficult try to understand the language, the English.
Yes, I imagine also, but in your case is very good that you hear another person in English, but
Yes,
but you 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 have a acostumbrarse, acustom maybe.
To get
yes,
accustomed or get used to.
yes. No, teacher. I was talking with Jonathan, and today I had a meeting with the Geneva team, and and we have specific with the indie person.
Oh,
The English with them is very difficult,
yes,
and each 2 minutes is repeat, please. What is
yes,
the question?
yes.
Oh,
That happens to me with Indian and with Chinese people.
yes.
Yes, I don't like their English. It's so difficult.
I prepare my summary and explain the context, and after that, God send give me a good a good idea to understand these people.
Wow, yes, I understand
But but
very.
I'm happy. But I'm happy because the meeting was successful.
Oh, that's the good point, right?
Yes.
All right, so I'm just going to listen to two people to give their opinions, and then we're going to start with the book. Okay, I just want to listen to two of you guys and tell me your experience and how do you feel with this activity. Volunteers, please, just two of you. Please, quickly, tell me, how do you feel with the activity?
Was nice activity, teacher, but because we can improve our listening, but I feel nervous too.
That's
Because in the
all.
second person, I didn't know what can I ask him. And I said, tell me about your job. And we had started to talk about his job very, very fast. I didn't understand
You got
all.
very excited, right?
Ya, muy emocionada hablando del farmer y que viajaba largo, no sabía, algunas me
Yeah.
trabé. And
Yes,
I
he
didn't
didn't
understand.
he didn't go to the main point of the question, but he started with something else.
Yeah, but it was great activity. Thanks, teacher, for
Okay,
this
you're
activity.
welcome. That's nice. All right, another comment.
Teacher, I agree with Elsie. Thank you for this activity. Is very comfortable, teacher, for me, and great. Thank you,
All
teacher,
right,
for
you're
this
welcome.
opportunity.
Excellent. So that is good, right? Remember, don't feel like, oh my goodness, I'm not learning or something like that. If you see, we have the class in English. Okay, he didn't speak Spanish, and you could understand what he was saying, right? I know, as I was telling Jonathan, we didn't get all the words, but we get the message, okay? And we can communicate with another person. But of course, we have to practice and practice. And remember what he said. What you have to do is to speak the language, okay? Whenever you have the opportunity of doing it, you have to, okay? So when you are in the class, try to speak as much as you can, okay? That's the purpose. I will try to have this kind of activities, not every month, because I know they have some activities to do, but I'm going to invite her sister next time because he wanted to be in the class. That's what he said at the end, that he wanted to say hi to me, but we didn't have time, right? So I'm going to invite her next time, maybe in 2 months. We can have her in the class for practicing. That's the purpose. Remember, we have to practice, and it's great when we can listen to a native speaker. Okay, that is useful, and that is good for the listening and for speaking, right? Okay, so we still have 5 minutes before finishing, right? And I'm going to share my book. Remember last class we were talking about Cusco, right? Peru. Sorry, where is it? Here we have my kind of town. Okay, starting point, and it says, complete the description with the sentences below, then compare answers. So here we have the sentences. Heriberto, could you please read the sentences from A to F?
Yes, teacher. However, housing costs are high. A nice apartment is about 2,500 per month. Letter B is so even though our streets are safe, the evenings can be dull. Letter C, but be careful. In spite of all the late night activity, the crime rate is high. Letter D says, on the other hand, it can sometimes be difficult to find a job. Letter E says, also it's fast, clean. Although, thank you. Thank you, teacher. Although it's fast, clean, and cheap, it's pretty crowded during rush hour. Nevertheless, it's becoming one of the most popular ways for people to get to work. Letter F, despite the attractive location, the prices of houses are surprisingly reasonable.
Okay. Thank you so much, Heriberto. So if you see, we have, however, so, but, on the other hand, although, nevertheless, despite. What is that? Have you seen this before? Or not? Okay. So before going to the exercise, please, guys, I want you to look for the meaning of however, so, but, on the other hand, although, nevertheless, and despite. Could you please quickly write on your notebook, put the English and the Spanish meaning, please, quickly, because we need them for understanding the sentences or for understanding the paragraph. That's going to be the first activity we're going to do. Look for those words, please.
Teacher, I
Yes?
want to share something. When my cousin 2 or 3 years ago came to El Salvador, she said so. And okay, Elsie, but she was talking about a specific topic, and she says so. They use like a common phrase, so.
Oh, yeah,
It's very common for
I
them,
think
right?
I use it a lot. That's what we call in Spanish muletillas, right?
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
one that I use a lot.
yeah. And also, teacher, I can say, I use so. It's like a conjunction that we can use to introduce another topic.
Okay, yes, you're right. There we go. Yes. Yes, Elsie, good comment.
Okay, thanks.
Let me know when you finish, please. So when you have the meaning, you will understand this better. Oh my goodness. Well, time's up, guys. So we're going to stop here right now, but we're going to continue with this activity tomorrow. Okay. So thank you so much for being in the class today, for helping me, for participating. I will see you tomorrow in the class. Okay. And we're going to continue with this. Good night, everybody. And have
Thank
a
you, teacher.
thank you. Okay. And have great sleep. Okay. I hope you can rest. Bye-bye, guys.
Good night, teacher.
Thank you, teacher.
Night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.